All right, so picking up where we just finished off, kind of, diving into the actual spirits and and other kind of liqueurs or liquors, as it relates to just again finding a vocabulary worth working with here. And now I want to get to some other kind of just terminologies that many of us are probably familiar with, but we maybe haven't actually unpacked or really spent any time. Really kind of thinking about what these words might mean philosophically. And so I first want to draw our attention to kind of the word spirit, right? And I say this because when we think of vodka, gin, tequila, whiskey, scotch, so the list could go. All of those are spirits, right? And we have to ask the question, well, why are they called spirits? Is it just what does that mean, right? And so I think it's interesting to kind of think and work within definitions as it relates to, again, painting a better picture or at least maybe kind of unpacking a better picture of what we can untangle about why they might be called spirits. So spirit is defined as the non-physical part of a person, which the seat of emotions and character. Okay? The non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, or the soul. Okay, that's like a supplemental definition there. The non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, or the soul. Third definition: strong distilled alcoholic drink such as brandy, whiskey, gin, or rum. Okay. So interestingly, the definition of spirit is, third down, specifically pertaining to our interest as it relates to alcohols. But I think that there might be something we're saying here, again, tying this into conversations of where we're going to go and conversations on what we're going to do. As it relates to thinking about, spirit or being kind of spirit, the idea of could it be argued based off these two definitions, if I have tequila or whiskey, right, does it unlock, does it encourage, does it produce the seat of my emotions or my character, my true character? Does it help kind of unlock the soul? Is that a way of thinking about this? Right? If soul is defined as the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, or the soul is another supplemental definition. Third definition: strong distilled alcoholic drink, such as brandy, whiskey, gin, or rum, tequila, etc. Maybe we could put those pieces together. So again, what does that mean in our overall experience here as it relates to consumption of alcohol, right? So again, that's kind of one piece that we can again just kind of let sit for a second and we'll return to throughout the semester. But I think that it's worthy of considering, at least it's worthy of exploration, right? And for most people in some capacity or another, especially when it comes to hard alcohol, right? Those spirits that we're talking about, gin, vodka, tequila, whiskey, brandy. All of those do seem for many people to at least kind of enliven, embolden, at least for a little bit, we change, we maybe kind of get out of our shell a little bit. So maybe there's something kind of worth exploring there. The other definition that I want to draw our attention to, because again I think it has philosophical interest for us and philosophical kind of implications, is, the word distill. Okay? And I kind of made a passing glance, or I made a passing reference to this in class, in live class last Thursday. But distilling, right, which distillation is the process by which one makes some of those harder spirits. Okay? Tequila, gin, vodka, whiskey, etc. Sorry, I'm having a little issue with my left eye. It feels like something's in it, but I can't get it out. So, sorry about that. It's a little distracting. But distill, when we think of what distillation is, Distilling is defined as purifying a liquid by heating it so that it vaporizes, then cooling and condensing the vapor and collecting the resulting liquid. Okay? So again, kind of like a technical process here. Purify a liquid by heating it so that it vaporizes, then cooling and condensing the vapor and collecting the resulting liquid. That's the first definition. The second definition, so 1.1, make spirits or an essence by distilling. 1.2, extract the essence of something by heating it with a solvent. Okay? Extract the essence of something by heating it with a solvent. And now the second kind of full definition, which I think really pertains philosophically in an interesting way for us, is extract the essential meaning or most important aspects of X. Whatever X might be, right? Fill in the blank. Okay? Extract the essential meaning or most important aspects of X. So when we think of these like distillates, when we think of whiskey, gin, vodka, again, you can rattle them all off there. Excuse me. It's kind of interesting to consider that like what we're trying to get to is the most pure form of that thing, right? The idea that like the better the distillation process, the more pure the distillation process, the more intricate the distilling process goes, is ultimately trying to get at the most important kind of aspects of X. And it's like true form. Okay? And so my immediate response here to this definition was that it reads kind of like deeply philosophical, right? Talking about getting to an essence. And anytime like we get to an essence, that, you know, de facto is philosophical, right? And so the idea, again, wrapped up here is perhaps like in distilling, we try to get to essence. We try to get to true being, true entity, true representation of X, whatever X may be. Okay? And we'll again kind of continue to discuss that. So the other couple of definitions that I want to just again kind of like put out here, actually I'll do that in the next video. So we'll kind of finish there with essence, and the next video will probably be pretty short.